Hi everyone, this is Mr. Neil Wright, also known as the Wax Whisperer. For anyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm a UK-based consultant audiologist and clinical ear care specialist. I'm also the co-founder of a company called Clearwax, and Clearwax are the manufacturers of the device that we use for these procedures called the iClearScope. We set up and manufactured the iClearScope back in, I think, 2016, so it's been 4 years. And the benefits of the iClearScope when performing earwax removal or even visualizing the ear, it's the wide field of view it provides. As you can see, we're just in the ear, we can see the whole earwax, the whole ear canal, and if there wasn't any debris in the ear, the whole eardrum. A client here actually attended with fungal infected earwax and debris. You can see the fungal spores there, the yellow little spores. So that's typically a fungal infection called otomycosis. The patient got recommended by a friend of theirs who's a local GP. It's not their own GP. She's been really struggling with her hearing, and she attended about a month ago, and I still remember she attended without an appointment. She was outside. We're not currently letting anyone inside the clinic without an appointment due to coronavirus. So I had a quick chat with her outside the window, and she was in so much agony. She was holding her head. Unfortunately, I was fully booked that day. It was just impossible getting her in, but we got her in the following day. Her local GP had just been recommending using olive oil drops. I think she'd been using it for a month to no avail, and obviously her symptoms were deteriorating and getting worse. So just using an ear hook to prise out the lateral part of this infected fungal earwax and keratin, and we're more medial now. So this layer of skin, this is more skin than earwax, and it's a very thick layer of skin that's not only adhered to the eardrum but to the side ear canal walls. And just remember, the patient was in a lot of pain even before coming, so we just have to be very, very delicate. The reason why I'm mentioning that specifically is that I think it's a good point in the video to mention it. If anyone wants to watch my videos, brilliant, fantastic. But if you're watching my videos and going to start trolling me, please just don't subscribe, don't watch the videos. I had a chap yesterday who left 53 comments all across different videos. Some are very, very, quite horrible comments. Some are filtered, so YouTube have a filter held for review. And I received them in all one go, so I wasn't aware that he was spending the best part of his evening trolling me, and eventually blocked him. But just uploading an earwax removal video, guys. It's just, and this is not the first example of people trolling. If you don't like the videos, just don't watch. It's very simple. I kind of question why people would leave negative comments. It kind of shows that if it makes someone feel better about their own life, fine. I'm willing to take a few insults my way if it makes you feel better, but is there any real need? And I think that's one of the negatives of social media. Social media has some great positives. I mean, it connected the whole world, but unfortunately there are some people that abuse it. And it's those, generally it's these comments that if I leave a bit of wax behind, kind of almost like I'm receiving death threats from people sometimes, that how dare you don't know what you're doing. Be rest assured, I do know what I'm doing. I'm a world-leading expert in this procedure. I developed this device. I train people visit me from around the world, not only for training, but for the procedure. I'm not being arrogant, because I've had some comments regarding that in the past as well, that when I'm trying to justify myself against some of the trials, that I'm being called arrogant. I'm just stating the facts, and if you don't like the facts, as I said, please do just watch another channel. Who would have thought that uploading earwax removal videos would have attracted so much trolling? It's just obscene. Anyway, back to the video. Removed another lateral plug of wax off the eardrum. So there is some residue left on the eardrum. You've got some sacs of dead skin. So the patient has got otitis externa, which is a inflammation, infection of the outer ear canal, and it can also cause infection, dry skin, shedding skin on the eardrum as well, otitis externa. Um, Referred the patient straight away back to to her own GP to explain, well, she doesn't need olive oil drops, she needs some antifungal, antibacterial ointments for her ears. In the UK, there's one called Otomize, which is very good. Otomize contains dexamethasone, which is, as you might have heard of that, it's a steroid that's been used in treatment of severe cases of coronavirus. So it's an anti-inflammatory steroid. So Otomize also includes acetic acid, and it contains an aminoglycoside, so it's kind of an antibiotic called neomycin. Now, neomycin, it's ototoxic, so you have to be careful. If the patient had a perforation of a eardrum, so a hole in the eardrum, you won't be able to use Otomize, because neomycin, if it enters the middle ear and travels up towards the cochlea, the organ, it can cause permanent damage. The acetic acid is actually quite good for fungal infection, so it covers a lot of bases. It's not only antibacterial, it's antifungal. Unfortunately, the patient was about 3 weeks later eventually prescribed ear calm, which I actually asked her to get over the counter, which you can do in the UK, until she got the Otomize from her GP. Ear calm contains just acetic acid, so as I said, Otomize contains 2 extra compounds, dexamethasone and also neomycin. And unfortunately, by that time, because when we clear in the ear, we're not killing the infection's still there. What we're doing is clearing the majority of the debris secreted by the infection. And she had to return, I think it was 3 weeks later. She only got prescribed the ear calm, which she got anyway over the counter, I think 2 weeks after the initial referral. So she came back, we had to clear her ear again, and again I had to write another letter to the GP. It's a shame in the UK that audiologists are not allowed currently to prescribe something that myself and one of my co-directors of ClearWax, Mr. Darius Rajali, is an ENT surgeon. He feels that we should be able to prescribe, but obviously it needs a lot of training, and it's something that we're considering to see whether we can hold training courses ourselves for audiologists or hearing aid dispensers. So I'm just kind of mopping up some of this scaly, it's almost like, as I said, it's scaly skin. It's some dry elephant skin around the entrance. And near the entrance, we can put a bit of force because it's cartilage. Cartilage, it's quite malleable, pliable. Deeper in your ear, that's where it's very sensitive, the inner 2/3. We've got skin and bone. So we're just going to leave a lot of this debris because, well, she needs to be treated with antibiotics, and it'll be very uncomfortable. Nonetheless, she was over the moon. She had tinnitus when she came. That went. Tinnitus is a ringing or a buzzing noise in the ear. She had extreme earache. That all resolved. Hearing came back. I tested the eardrum because the eardrum was a bit dull, and that dullness was just because of this layers of dead keratin. So these white patches, it's actually dead skin. If you've got a blister on your finger and you get almost like layers of keratin that you're trying to peel, but it doesn't on your finger. It's similar on your eardrum. So that will naturally shed now, but we did a pressure test just to make sure there's no middle ear infection. She was fine. She was over the moon. She was so grateful. That's just some of the debris. So just weighed in kind of 1/10 of a gram. A lot of it did get suctioned up the vacuum tube as well. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I thought I'll upload that one. Yeah, I know a lot of you, the viewers, enjoy the fungal infections. It's Diwali, so I hope anyone who celebrates is having a wonderful Diwali. I'm going to close up the clinic now. It's been a long day, just doing some paperwork. With regards to ClearWax, we've got a new starter. Her name is Dharmista Rathod. And maybe get her to do a quick shout out in my next video to introduce herself. So Dharma is going to be in charge of the day-to-day business operations for ClearWax. Myself and my other 2 directors, we've all got our own businesses already, and running ClearWax is quite strenuous. And we just feel ClearWax, it requires more time, and it deserves more time, someone full-time. So we're very fortunate to have Dharmista join us in the business, and looking forward to really pushing and growing it. Anyway, guys, have a lovely Saturday evening, and I'll upload some more videos across the week. Thanks, bye.